Hi guys, my name is Elena Paraskeva. I am a conceptual fashion, portrait and commercial photographer based in Cyprus, and today I will be taking you behind the scenes of my latest photo shoot for Affinity photo software. Back a while ago, I did a tutorial for Affinity, and the image I was using had water drops in it. It got a lot of people interested as to how I did that. So we thought, well, why not create a behind the scenes video and show people how to incorporate water photography into their portraiture. Now, if you know a little bit about this kind of photography, you know it is challenging. And the best setting, if you will, for it is in an indoor studio. Of course, this is not an indoor studio, it's outdoors. And that's because I like to challenge myself. I wanted something tropical. It's summer here in Cyprus, the weather is beautiful. So I wanted something that reminded me of the jungle, lots of palm trees and greenery. And I didn't feel I could duplicate that in the studio, hence why we're out here. Now, the studio would have made my life a lot easier because you do not have to fight with ambient light. A lot of people misunderstand. They think that even indoors they have to use high speeds to freeze motion. You do not need high speed. You need a shorter flash duration. Now, forget all about that because we're outside. So things are a lot more difficult here. And on top of that, I am doing the photo shoot using color gels, which complicates things even further because it not only cuts the light even more, so your strobes need to fight to produce light, but you also have to position them more carefully so that the colors do not bleed into each other. Anyway, today we will be using hypersync, so high speeds, and a very close setup where the lights are very close to the model and my scene. So let's get started. Let me take you over there and see how we got set up. So we're here at the scene of the shoot. As you can see, a very tropical background full of beautiful palm trees, but very, very tight. So it's gonna be difficult to work around it because it's gonna be me, my models, and the two assistants pouring water over the model and 3 lights. Now, ideally, I would want to use 4 lights to cover all angles. On the right and the left of the model, the front and the back. I am sacrificing a 4th light on the one side because I have to have my assistant standing there to pour water. So hopefully it'll do the trick and give us those sharp drops that we want. Overall, whenever I use gel photography and water photography, hard lights is what I go with. And I'm using a strip box in this case, a modifier with barn doors, and I'm using a beauty dish with a grid. Now the strip box and the modifier with the barn doors do not have grids. I actually want more power, and if I put grids, it's going to lessen the power. If I was in a studio, I would have gridded them. Also, for the back one, I like a little bit of flair with this kind of rain to give it a more mystical feel. So I'm gonna leave it like that. I just use one of the barn doors towards my side so I wouldn't get as much flare into my camera. The beauty dish in the front is gridded because it's gelled with an aqua gel, and I do want it to frame most of the face and not bleed into my red. The light that you will see over there to the right, to my right, has a red gel. And if I leave the beauty dish ungridded, it is going to bleed too much into the red and not make it as strong as I want it to. So that is the set. So let's bring our model and see how we work everything out. So my model is ready and I'm about to put my assistants into position with these awesome strainers. I know it sounds funny, it is nothing high tech, but to get the nice water drops, you do need the holes to be very small. If you were actually using something like a hose and you were just holding the hose, you'd get a mist. You wouldn't actually get the water drops. So it is essential that you have a tool that has about, I would say, a third of a centimeter maximum in width. So we're going to be using 2 of these right above the model's head, and we're basically 100 meters from the sea and the wind has picked up, so hopefully when we're pouring it, it's going to go straight down and not sideways. So fingers crossed, and let's get started. I'm back in the studio after a challenging but rewarding day, and I've just finished editing the image in Affinity Photo. I think my mission was accomplished. We managed to overcome the bright sun and strong wind and still produce a tropical, mystical water scene. Join me for part 2, where I take you through my editing process of the image in Affinity Photo and show you how to correctly apply frequency separation for your retouching, use the various adjustment layers and blending modes. Until then, thank you so much for watching. This is Elena Paraskeva. Take care.